Hello and welcome. I'm going to be doing a collective reading for us all for this entire week. This is the week of the Leo new moon, which happened yesterday. Today is August 5th, so August 4th for many of us. And we're also moving into the 8-8 energy. It's been an interesting time, and I chose the thumbnail for this video, In Between Worlds, because what I've been picking up from my own personal experience all last week into this week, as well as downloads and receiving messages from everything that I have personally experienced, as well as feeling collective energy and reading into collective energy. It feels as though many of us are having one foot in one world, the world of the spiritual realm, the world of faith, the world of trust, the world of flow, and the other foot still grounded, not necessarily grounded, still on the ground of the old world, the old self. Let's just say the old self. We have been moving through a new bandwidth of energy, a new frequency of energy. And for any of you who do track the solar flares, the CMEs, the radio blackouts, the Schumann resonance, you know, we've been pummeled by this energy, as well as the planetary energies, the star system energies. And I'm not even going to go into detail with any of that. First of all, my brain does not have the bandwidth to go there, because there's been so much emotion that's been stirred up. There's been so much experience that has brought back past versions of myself. And I feel like many of you will resonate with that, meaning just through experience, it triggers old wounds, old emotions, and probably things we're very aware of for most of us, and really believe that we have moved beyond that trauma, that pain, those parts. But it's bringing those inner child parts, inner teenager parts back into our awareness to help us release more. This happens in layers and stages, so it's not a one and done, never has been, never will be. Yet this is a big push, a big blast of new frequency, higher frequency energy. And it's bringing us into this new bandwidth, so to speak, that is disconnecting us from an old energy grid. And we don't just get removed from an old energy and put into a new energy. It is a process. It is a process of stripping back old layers of self, and at the same time also bringing to us more of our cosmic or blueprint of ourselves, and the synchronicities, the messages, the signs, the other worldly experiences are also just as intensified as the old wounding that is coming up for release. And when I say release, it means that we have to go into the emotion. We have to have the experience and truly feel what is still left within our vibrational field, our energy field. So it's been a lot. For many of us, this is affecting those of us who have consciously been awakened. We have been on the path of awakening. Some of us, no matter what you label yourself as, a starseed, a light worker, any of that. I just personally don't go by labels, but I do know that there are a select group of us that have been on this path, this journey. And we are the ones to anchor in this new energy onto earth, within humanity. So we go first. So if your loved ones, your friends, your society, your community seems like everything's fine, I don't feel the intensity of the energy, I don't feel exhausted, I don't feel emotional, because they're not doing what we're doing yet. They will. They're not doing it yet. This is for us to first, the front runners, the front end of the wave. We go through this first. Not to say anybody's better or higher or lower, and we're getting an X class of solar flare as I'm doing this, as I'm speaking right now. It's not anything like that. It is growth. You know, growing up, if you had brothers and sisters and you had like older siblings and they go through their teenage years first, that doesn't make them better or worse than you. It is just a process of growth and evolution. So to honor this process, it's not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. But remember your calling. Remember why you're here. This is why we're here, to have the ability to anchor in the new vibration, anchor in the heart energy, anchor in love, compassion, peace, harmony. But first, we have to go into the shadow of ourselves over and over and over again. This is why a lot of my readings are like, love your shadow, because it's going to come back up. It's going to make itself known again and again and again. I spent all last week with the angry teenager in me, more so than I have in a long time. And I see how it was all divinely orchestrated. While you're in it, you can even be consciously aware of, okay, I see that life is taking me back through this spiral. I think that's what triggered the anger in the angry teenager in me yet again. Like, can you just give me a break? Please. But there is more for me to see in there, as well as my escapism patterns. Because as much as I wanted to escape into a Hulu series that really captured my attention, the dog I was dog sitting would not let me. There were just things. There were just frustrations, little things, silly, stupid things. But it made me very aware of the energy shifting and the differentiation. Drink lots of water. We are still getting really pummeled by solar activity, and it can cause dehydration. You will have a much easier time physically if you drink lots of water and you take care of your physical body as best as you can. This is not a time to focus on how do I change my vibration. This is all happening to us organically, naturally. So the best thing you can do is try to relax into it and surrender. We're not in charge of this at all. And another thing that I wanted to bring up to all of you, I wanted to do this live, I really did, and there's a part in me that's still very sensitive and wanted to be able to get the message out without having to monitor the comments. So I hopefully, divine timing with everything. The people that need to hear this message will hear it. I will not be doing the zodiac readings this week. I will be traveling again this week, and all the messages are the same. All the messages are the same for all, because we're all right now in this squeeze. it feels like we're being rained out, suffocating sometimes. And it's interesting, where I live, it's been so hot and so humid, and that adds to the irritation level that's already being stirred up within many. This is not a great time to really try to push through and make something happen. You might get even more frustrated. If it's meant to happen, you'll be guided into it easily with flow. Okay, so we're going to get a reading for all of us. Oh, okay. We're starting with the Starseed Oracle. And maybe we're just doing Oracle today. Take note of what comes up for you. Doubt, imposter syndrome, anxiety, fear, anger, frustration. But don't attach to it. Don't attach a narrative or story. The mind's going to want to do that. And if it does, it does. You're going to have that experience. But the more we can let go, feel, release, let go. Feel, release, let go. The easier the ride will be for you. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. It is not an easy time for us, but it is definitely divinely orchestrated. And there is a greater purpose for all of this. As I said, we are anchoring in this new light, this new energy. And in order to do so, we have to be disconnected from an old energy grid. The human in us resists that. Our soul is already connected to the new energy grid. And maybe even the ego or the spiritual ego thinks, I'm connected to the new energy grid. Life will show you what parts of you are not. That's important for us to see and to recognize, and to allow nature to take its course, to do what it needs to do to dislodge and detach us from old versions of ourselves, old world, old energy. It's a process. Earth is moving through. Well, they're showing me, it looks almost like a record player. And I'm hearing photon belt, but there's more to it than that. Again, my brain's not really catching on to trying to make things make logical sense for humans right now, because I guess that's just not where I'm at. That's funny. Mercury is now retrograde, station retrograde. So this is going to be a very interesting Mercury retrograde for us all. Enlightening, I'm hearing. Remember, it's a choice. We can choose victim consciousness or co-creator consciousness. And we're being shown child parts, teenager parts that are still connected to victim consciousness because they have not been allowed to, they were not given a choice. These are parts in us, energetically, emotionally, parts of our past. These are the parts that are being triggered and that are arising in us now. I'm sending so much love to all of you. It has been a lonely ride in a way for me. Really spending more time alone than ever because it's more comfortable and it's necessary. I'm hearing also it's been very necessary. But the people that I have been brought into my experience in the last week or two are definitely sources of great support. So pay attention to who's in your energy field, who you're sharing energy with at this time. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. It is happening. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. This is new territory for us all. This is such new territory that there's not much written on this experience that we are embarking upon. Trust your inner guidance. If you're still looking to someone outside of yourself, a guru, the lessons and the information can be helpful, but try not to really attach yourself to whatever anybody else is picking up, including myself. If there's resonance and it's like, oh, I'm right there with you, that's helpful. But if it's something that you've got to learn or try to understand, I would suggest just kind of putting a pin in that. Pause that. This is something deeper, and this is the energy is so intense. We are all very vulnerable and energetically, extra energetically sensitive. Okay, we're going to read this from the book. Okay. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and a radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to have faith. You chose to be here, to be a part of this global shift. Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering in a new age of times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working towards for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep. For if you do, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've so carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. We are closer than we think. But having an expectation or a timeline I feel that this is strictly why I have been pulled back from focusing deeply on the astrology, to have an understanding of the different energy pockets and experiences we're having is helpful, especially during the 8/8 energy and the Leo new moon energy. Yet having an expected timeline, having expectations right now will cause more frustration than anything. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. This is a labor of love. We are all going through the birthing process as well as the death process. That's another thing that's been coming up very strongly. There is death in the energy. Not to fear death. There are physical deaths happening. Always are, but more so now, especially for those of us on this front end of the wave. Not only are there physical deaths, but there is a death process, a death of the old version, a death of not necessarily the ego, but how the ego operated internally. We are getting more in touch with all of our parts, our shadow. We are seeing the light and the dark within, the yin, the yang. allow it to present itself, allow it to do naturally what this energy is designed for. It is bringing us into a new energy that's already here. It's already anchored on earth. Now we must connect to it and anchor that new energy on earth. This doesn't require any effort on our part, except surrender and remember why we're here. Remember why we are going through all that we're going through right now. I am sending you all so much love. You have no idea how grateful I am to have this platform and to have all of you, I'm going to get teary-eyed, to have all of you here and interacting with me either on the lives or the zodiacs. And I consider you my family. Don't give up. You're not alone. We are not alone in this at all. It's not easy. So the more of us that can connect when we can, it's just a beautiful way to support one another while we are going through this heavy energetic shift for all of us. And we're going to feel the high highs of the spiritual and the low lows of the shadow and the old versions of ourselves. Just know that's part of the process. We are being purified. We are being cleansed of old energy. So much love to you all. I will be back next week to do the zodiac again. Need to take a pause this week as I travel again this week. Yet you're always in my heart. And again, don't give up. Don't give up. Much love to you all. Bye.